Welcome to the Desire Over Doubt Show, coming to you from Savannah, Georgia, with your hosts, elite and international elite lifters, Nate Korpusic and Savage Cat.
Yep. Like a bull in a china shop. Hey everybody, welcome to the Desire Over Doubt Show. I am Nate, and this is my podcast voice. And here with me as always is...
Savage Cat, with my normal voice, as always.
Today we're talking about gym etiquette.
Yes.
You just remembered that, didn't you? Oh, I do have to clear something up. Apparently, there was some blowback from last week's video where people thought that I actually think the earth is flat. And I do not.
I think, you remember when we were recording that episode, and I was like, people are going to think you're serious. He doesn't really believe that the earth is flat.
I'm a very serious guy. And in the last week, I've done a lot of research and talked to a lot of people, and I now think the earth is round. So that means we can tag this video in Flat Earth again, so we can get a shit ton of views again.
Okay.
Is that bad etiquette?
Yes.
All right, gym etiquette. What's your biggest? What's your pet peeve? What's your top pet peeve?
I don't know. I have a few that are in competition with each other. One of my least favorite is like, hey bro, how many sets do you have left?
Well, I just want to know how many sets you got left.
Yeah, but there's a way to do it. Like, you can be polite when you're asking somebody. Like, it's one thing if you go up to somebody and you say, how many sets do you have left?
I think
versus like, my workout is more important than yours.
I think what you're touching on, for me anyways, what I imagine is the hoverer.
Yeah.
The person that's like obviously circling you like a shark in your dinner, waiting for you to finish your sets. But really that just makes me want to take more time. I mean, I'm not here for their workout, I'm here for my workout. And it's not that I believe I should have that bench press, longer than this guy. It's just, don't be rude. Like you said, don't be rude about it. Don't hover around me.
Yeah, don't be rude about it. Or, there's a really easy way around this one. You can work in with somebody. So, especially if it's on something like a plate select accessory machine or a piece of isolation equipment, it's too easy to work in with somebody. It doesn't mean that you have to become buddies with them or whatever. You can just alternate and both use your time more efficiently.
But you might make a friend.
Or if you're at a powerlifting gym and you have something like a monolift or an ER rack where you can easily change a rack height and a safety height between you and another person, you can just work in with them, and then that way neither one of you is wasting your time.
I agree.
And maybe you'll make a new friend.
So don't be the hoverer, because a lot of times it's just creepy. Like, there's definitely, and I guess that dovetails into the gym creep. That's probably another pet peeve, or somebody with poor gym etiquettes, like the guy that hangs out over the adductor machine. Creepy. I mean, that's probably the most private machine that there is in the gym, where you feel like you're just out there, and that's the one where your legs are spread open and you just hope you don't have any holes in your pants.
We used to call that the yes-no machine when I was in college.
The yes-no?
The yes-no machine. Because a lot of them switch between hip abduction and hip adduction. So one of them means yes, and one of them means no.
Oh, legs closed no? Oh, God.
See, that's bad etiquette. That was a bad joke.
That's funny shit. Again, I'm not a flat earther. But yeah, I guess I could see that. But I mean, so if I was designing a gym, I would point it towards the wall or something nearby. I've been to a lot of gyms where they don't take that into consideration, and it's just out in the middle there.
That's what Planet Fitness does, though.
If you're a guy or a girl, it's weird. It's weird for me, too.
But guys need strong adductors, too.
They do. Absolutely. But, my moose knuckle is not on parade for everybody to see.
Everybody thinks that's a girly machine and that you only need it to, shape your legs. But the truth is that everybody needs strong abductors and adductors.
I agree. Also, shout out to Crystal today, the company, for their wonderful beverages. If you're listening to the podcast, you can't see what we're doing. We're showing the cans to the camera. But I am drinking the wonderful sparkling ice and caffeine orange passion fruit. What's yours?
Mine is triple citrus.
So thank you, Crystal, for letting us purchase these at retail price, and then we could talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
Next, poor etiquette. Go. The guy that doesn't clean the toilet after he takes a big shit in the bathroom.
Oh, you mean like you?
No, I've learned.
You've learned.
But that was a pet peeve when we owned a gym.
It was. Oh my gosh, y'all.
One guy would come in and just blow up the bathroom and then leave.
There's nothing like coming in to train and you go into the bathroom and there's just like a complete, I call it a paint job in the toilet. And then you're like, you own the gym, so you have to clean it up.
And when you literally have members that will just come in, shit, and leave. It's not good. And
Dead ass serious.
We had one member that would come, bring his kids by on a Saturday so they all could shit in the bathroom and then just leave.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh my God, come on, man. Like, your dues are going up.
Good times.
Good times. We don't own the gym anymore for that reason right there.
That was one of them.
That was one of them.
Like, you can only really scrub a toilet so many times. And then it turns out that employees also don't like scrubbing toilets. So then you end up doing it anyway.
Well, we're getting into the pet peeves of gym ownership
yes.
now. That can be a whole separate podcast.
That can be a pet peeve of owning a gym or going to a gym.
It could be. But if you start getting into your employees, I think that's the pet peeve of owning a gym. Employees are a pet peeve of mine. Just employees.
In general.
I mean, come on. It's not great. It hasn't been. It's okay. It is what it is. That's another podcast.
Anyway, what's some other pet peeves you have?
The fuckers that leave the weight on.
Gym etiquette.
Everybody knows this guy.
Oh yeah.
So, people are so arrogant about leaving weight on the bar sometimes. And I mean, how do you not know? How do you walk off and be like, oh yeah, I forgot? You didn't fucking forget. You're lazy. Like, if you're strong enough to lift the weight, you're strong enough to take the weights off. Yeah. And that really is that one actually gets me mad when I see that shit. Because it's like, you don't know who's coming behind you. What if you just loaded that up with like 400 pounds and walked away and you got somebody who's like a beginner lifter, male or female, who can't lift anywhere near that weight and maybe can't lift the weights you put on there, depending on what the machine is. And now you've just left it for them and maybe they can't even do their exercise.
Well, it also makes it unclear whether or not somebody's still using that piece of equipment. So it's one thing that, what if the person has a hard time unloading it by themselves? Or what if nobody uses it because everybody thinks that somebody is still using it?
Yep.
So rather than having a potential altercation with somebody over going over and unloading the weight because they don't think they see anybody there. You know what I mean?
It's just bad all around.
It is.
It is. I mean, I recall years ago I was at this gym in Savannah and I was waiting for the bench press and there was a guy doing... I don't know what the fuck he was doing. He had the bar balanced on the seat.
He was probably doing rows.
Yeah, but he had like 200 or 300. He had like 300 something pounds on there.
You can do rows with 300 pounds.
Okay, but still, he walked away from it. He just left it there. Now this is a bench press machine. Like you come the fuck on. And I watched him walk off. He ripped off his shirt like a big macho dude, and started chatting with his friends and being all buddy. And I'm like, hey man, you gonna unload your weight? And he's like, no, I think my friend's gonna use that. And I'm like, no, there's nobody over there. And he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And just a total dick about it. And I'm like, well, fuck you, guy. I'm sorry you're lifting. My lifting is interrupting your day. Like, it's just like, fuck you. So I had to go and take his shit apart and re-rack it and fucking get ready for my own setup, which I hate because now I've expended all that energy taking apart somebody else's shit that I wanted to put into my own workout. And so it is that one infuriates me. But that's probably one of the most common ones you run into. I really, it's one of those things where like, you don't think it's going to happen to me, right? Again, getting back into gym ownership. You don't think it's going to happen to me. Like when we started the gym, I'm like, that's probably not going to be us. We're going to have all great members and everything. Fuck that. 10 minutes went by before somebody left weights on the machine. It's a problem, people. It's a problem.
And I'll add this. It doesn't matter how many signs you put up.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. And if you have employees, they just think the employees are there to put the weights back for you. So
that was a big thing when I was in school. A lot of you guys know I worked at my campus rec center while I was in college, and it was part of our policy that people had to re-rack their weights and stuff. And when you would remind people, it was always like your classic gym douche, and he would just be like, well, I thought that was your job. Like,
yeah, that's not your job.
My job is to enforce policies and to keep patrons safe.
Again, poor gym etiquette.
Yes.
What else?
You tell me.
Oh, God. There's so many to pick from, and we only have so much time to talk about them. The talker.
Oh, God.
The singer. The guy that's singing full blast with his headphones on. Now, while that can be humorous at times...
It's a bit distracting.
Or the... here's one for you powerlifters out there, because all you motherfuckers like to put your phones up and video your sets. I do the same thing. The guy that walks between your fucking camera and when you're lifting, right? I mean, come on. It's obvious. You've spent 10 minutes setting the fucking camera up like you're goddamn Steven Spielberg, and you're fucking trying to get the lighting and shit right like you're goddamn MGM Studios. You've got this tripod that's 5.5 feet tall, and you got this fucking phone or camera that's more expensive than anything else that's on the fucking gym floor. You got microphones and shit. You've got this thing lit up like it's a goddamn soundstage.
I mean, if you have microphones to record your lift, you're doing something wrong.
You have a microphone.
We're not lifting.
I like to wear lapel mics and talk through it like they do in the NFL.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's Bluetooth.
You commentate on your own.
Yeah, while you're lifting, you're like, and now I'm gonna breathe, and it works. But that motherfucker, you just spent all this time setting up soundstage 1 on the fucking studio floor, and this guy, you go to do your lift, and right when you're at the point that you need your coach to see, the dude walks by and sticks his fucking ass cheeks right in the camera. And that's what you get.
I remember one time a couple weeks ago, I was over here recording one of my deadlifts.
It was a mistake.
And somebody walked right in front of my camera.
I'm not saying it isn't going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen.
It happens.
That
You
was
just
a
got to
mistake.
brush it off.
But there are times when it happens and it's very frustrating because it's obvious. That wasn't obvious. Our phones and stuff are set up in here all the time. And so I just wasn't paying attention. That's all that was. We don't need to talk about that. What's your next one? You pick one. Well, wipe downs.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Wiping down equipment after you use it.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah, because COVID and everything.
Ebola, polio, because people don't like to get vaccines. Measles, mumps. I'm not being political. I'm just saying. If
you want to talk about how you're an anti-vaxxer now?
An anti-vaxxer?
Yeah.
That
was a joke, everybody.
We should take all the anti-vaxxers and put them on flat Earth. And just send it out into the two-dimensional cosmos that they think is... Anyways, we probably just lost a lot of viewers.
That's a tangent.
There's a lot of anti-vaxxers out there.
Yeah.
And so we probably just lost a good segment of our...
Wiping down your equipment.
Yes, so you don't get polio.
Super important. It doesn't matter if you're sweating all over it or not. I've literally heard people make that justification. Oh, well, I didn't sweat on it.
Does it fucking matter? You kidding me? Your ass is sweating. I don't care. And that means you have ass and you're sweat. You have ass. You have sweat in your ass crack that has been moved to the whatever bench or whatever you're on. And I don't care. That's too close. We're not that good of friends.
It's just so bad.
God,
it's so bad.
Wipe it up. I've heard that before. Now that you say that, that's true.
Oh, well, I didn't sweat on it. Are you fucking kidding me?
You did. Because it looks like a fucking goddamn sea otter.
Even if you didn't sweat on it, that's not how germs work.
No, it's not.
That's not how viruses work.
That doesn't mean I want to sit on your fucking bench just because you didn't sweat on it. There's 4 billion dead skin cells there now.
Yeah.
And definitely germs.
That's one of the best parts about having a private spot to train in is...
We never have to clean it.
We do clean it. I clean it after every single client, but you don't have to worry about so many people coming in and using things at one time. It's super easy to keep stuff clean.
It's controlled. Here. It's definitely more controlled. Yeah. So, I guess the moral is just build yourself a kick-ass home gym.
Yeah.
Really.
Or just wipe your equipment down because gyms are required to have sanitizing spray or wipes.
Do you really want to be the guy that transmits COVID to somebody and they bring it home to their family? MRSA.
Or fucking ringworm or some shit.
Yeah, those are just, MRSA, man, that'll fuck you up. That'll take you out, man. So I definitely agree with that. That's just a simple thing everybody can do, is to get their nasties off of whatever piece of equipment they were on.
And if you're really unsure about it, you can just wipe it down before you use it and after you use it. That's usually what I do at public gyms. Because you never know.
You never know. Might as well wipe it down before,
People justify not wiping it down.
I definitely don't do that here, but I've done that at other gyms. Here, I know your germs, so I'm fine with them.
Yeah.
It
I
proves-
also wipe everything down after anybody uses it, so.
What else? There's so many different. There's so many bad etiquette things. Like there was one in particular. Oh, people in music. We talked about that a little while ago. People singing to their headphones. But
what about people who use their phone speaker and just play music out of their phone speaker?
I hate that. Or talk on FaceTime the entire time they're working out. So they're on the roa going back and forth. I don't even know what the person thinks they're seeing. Like, they might think this person's actually in the ocean or some shit, going back and forth. They probably have like a fucking green screen or some shit behind there. I don't know. What can hold somebody's interest on FaceTime that fucking long?
I don't know.
I don't know. But there's one more that I realized when we owned our own gym, and that was people actually hijacking the gym's music.
Oh,
we had to cut people out. We had to end up like password protecting everything. And you feel like you shouldn't have to do that. And then we had people climbing into the rafters and like unplugging the speakers.
It's not even a joke,
to
y'all.
plug their shit
we
in.
literally had like 13-foot ceilings, and our speakers were hidden in the rafters.
And people would get a ladder.
And then when we took away the ladder, right? Because we're like, people are climbing the ladder and changing the music, and then it messes up the Bluetooth, so then the music is just off when they leave, which fucks it up for any other patron that comes in. So then, after we removed the ladder, people were climbing up our wall-mounted Rogue cage into the rafters.
Yep, and I caught some guy on the cameras at 12:30 one night, and his face was so scared when I went fucking marching in that gym at 12:30 a.m. And I was like, motherfucker, he's blasting fucking hard metal.
It was like death metal.
And I'm like cool, like I'll listen to that.
But in your headphones.
But dude, there's like, you don't know who's gonna be there. Like anybody could walk in, and like there are people that don't want to listen to that shit.
He was a nice kid.
He was a nice kid, and he actually went out the next day and bought headphones and made it a point to come by the gym and show me that he bought headphones.
Yeah, that was precious.
Props to him. He definitely. It pissed me off at first, but it became a funny joke later on.
I've actually never seen that at any other gym.
Iron Bodies.
That was different, though. They had a phone that was passed
Iron Bodies
around.
let people do it. Like they wanted people to change the music, that's a bad fucking idea.
It is.
You put the music control in with your guests, that's a bad idea. They might play like Careless Whisper. They might play like the Baby Shark song. I mean, they might play Sandstorm 12 times in a day. You don't know. You don't what? All right, that's my playlist. But nonetheless,
none of those are bad songs or like offensive songs, though.
No, but they're just irritating.
That was the biggest problem at Iron Bodies was people
playing offensive stuff,
playing like really inappropriate songs, and then it would just be one patron that would have the phone for like 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. And we would have interviews with clients,
or we would be training clients,
and they're like, we have some older clientele.
Yeah, people are very put off by that.
And I'm put off by it. It just isn't right. Like, it's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable.
It is.
And, I mean, yeah, okay, call me old or whatever, but I mean, it's not the place.
No.
It's not the place for it.
So if you're the kind of person that likes to listen to your music at the gym through the speaker on your phone,
cut it the fuck out.
Quit doing that, because it's super irritating, number one. And number two, it doesn't sound good. I'm sorry, like, nobody enjoys listening to music through a phone speaker. It's terrible.
Like, how does that pump you up? You need to get the bass and the treble, like everything. It needs to sound good. It needs to pump you up. If it's coming out of your phone, it's just like, that little tiny speaker just doesn't cut it.
I would rather listen to, like, easy listening at the YMCA.
Oh my God.
Over good speakers.
That's the other end of the spectrum. They don't have music half the time. So it's just a fucking...
Just dead silence.
All you hear is, like, the 70-year-old creep man, like, going, with the 30-pound dumbbells, and it's like...
That whole sentence was super mean.
Was it?
The 70-year-old creep man.
That's a thing. I'm sure it's like the creep man. It's like Slender Man and Fish Man and all the... I don't know. Aquaman. I don't know.
Oh my God.
They exist. It's a thing.
I know.
It's a fucking thing. The Y is filled with it. It is the retirement home for lifters. I swear to fucking God. I mean, yeah, we went there, and that's fine. And I'm not saying it's horrible. It's a good choice for some people. But there are definitely, like, when you walk in, and there are people in fucking walkers and wheelchairs sitting at the front drinking coffee, and they're 9,300 years old, it doesn't motivate me to go lift 500 pounds on the bench.
I don't know. I never had a problem with that aspect of it.
I'm sorry.
I thought
maybe
it was
because
nice.
I worked in the ambulance industry for a while,
Maybe.
and I remember the smell. Never mind. I'm not going down this road. I'm not going to go down this road. It's lovely. I think and I have not. Can't they put the elderly in a different room or something? Like there's another, like have like a padded room or like something that's easy to clean. Perhaps you can put the kids in there too. They're just as fucking bad. So you can take all the kids from that are in like the daycare center, put them with the elderly people. The elderly people can tell them inappropriate stories from when they were young, and they can all be in like one little room. And then we can work out. And then eventually when I get old, I'll be in the room. That's fine. I have no problem with that. Take my old ass, my old diaper ass, and put it in that fucking room. I'll be happy to. It gets me out of the house. Plus there's coffee.
All right, and now we have to restart this podcast.
Do we?
Because that was fucked up.
I'm just kidding.
Jesus Christ.
I'm kidding. That's all a joke, by the way. We love our elderly people. We do. They're great.
And we love children.
I'm elderly, so... Oh, yeah. Do we like that? I love children.
I love children.
No, you don't. I like fur babies. So, now that we're off that tangent, what else?
Dress code.
Dress code?
Yeah. I feel like that's something that's like...
I guess, yeah.
You know, there's a little bit of etiquette involved with that. Like, I mean, every facility has their own set of rules and like what's okay and what's not okay, but I feel like there's just some things that maybe you shouldn't be comfortable wearing that while you're working out.
Well, I mean, I agree. I mean, there's definitely... Now I'm getting images in my head. There's definitely a line that can be crossed. Like, shorts can be too short, guys. And I'm talking about the men. Shorts can be too short. If you get on that leg press and I see half a fucking nut hanging out of your pants, I'm not exactly, I don't need an eye full of nut to get through my workout. It's okay. It's okay. Just keep it in there. Now that means you're wearing short shorts and you're either wearing tighties or boxers. Get some fucking briefs or some compression shorts or something under there. Because and then that goes into the cleanliness and hygiene again.
Yeah. Because
now their nuts rubbing all over the seat on the fucking leg press machine. And then what?
And then they don't wipe it down.
Exactly. That motherfucker. And then he walks away with his goddamn weights left on the leg press.
Jesus Christ.
He's the ultimate gym creep etiquette fuck up. That guy. I don't want that guy. Is that what you were talking about? You weren't getting at that at all. What are you?
No.
You went around it. You were going a different direction.
I was going a different direction.
All right. Well.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, that's one end of the spectrum.
Are you talking more
sure.
about like crop tops and stuff, or like underwear, or?
Like more like underwear. I mean, I think crop tops are fine. Like
Please wear your underwear though.
Girls wear short shorts. Like that's fine. But there's a level of that's I feel like is okay versus not okay.
In a certain time of day, right? Like the night hours, it's okay to wear less. I mean, I'm just saying, like if I'm coming from, I mean, I don't do this anymore, but if I was coming from work, I might have a limited amount of clothes. I might be wearing the same gym clothes 3 days in a row. Just saying. No, that's not what we're getting at either?
No, okay.
So not smelly old clothes, you're just talking about revealing clothes? I think that's a big one to have for the training staff.
It is, yeah.
Your trainers should have everything covered appropriately, in my opinion. Just because it shows an air of professionalism. And then I'm of the school of thought of like, when you're working out, wear whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
But
as long as it's not an issue of hygiene.
Yeah, if it's not an issue of hygiene, or it has to be like PG-13 or better, I think, because it's like there are going to be in a lot of gyms, there's a lot of kids and stuff, and you just don't need to be like out there like you like, oh, nip slip, ooh. I mean.
Yeah, no.
Or like, what about the stringers on guys where their nipples are just out? What do you think?
Those were totally not allowed at my university gym.
So me, I wouldn't care.
No.
Like, I don't care.
We had a lot of interesting rules there that I thought were a little overboard, but they made sense for like protection of the equipment. like, people weren't allowed to wear any type of, like, cargo pant or anything with an exposed zipper because it could get caught on a machine or, you know, tear up an expensive piece of equipment.
Well, even the, like, upholstery, like, that shit could get ripped up pretty easily.
Like, same thing with a stringer, too. It wasn't, like, the nipples were a problem, and we had a lot of issues with that between men and women where, like, men were allowed to show their nipples, but women weren't allowed to even have, like, a sports bra on or anything like that.
I don't know. What's wrong with a sports bra? Like, that's, like, what it's made for.
Yeah. But the stringers was because they're gaping.
Oh, yeah, and I get that.
And you could, like, hook yourself onto a piece of equipment or something.
Yeah, that can be dangerous.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
But, I mean, again, it comes down to the common sense of the person working out, too. Like, have some common sense.
Yeah. But that's not really etiquette. That's more just...
Yeah, that's almost a safety issue.
Yeah,
I mean, the safety and hygiene more than anything else.
Yeah.
What else is there? Bad gym etiquette. There's so many. I'm not going to be able to remember all of them today. But we got bathroom creeper dude, old people and kids.
I know a good one.
What?
Guys who creep on girls and, like, always try to save them or, like, ruin a lift.
Oh my God.
Or mansplain something. Like, they see a girl and she's lifting maybe more weight than they can lift, maybe not. I don't know. It happens both ways all the fucking time.
It does.
But they come over and try to explain, oh, here's some pointers to make your squat better, you know, or like, oh, you look like you were gonna drop that.
Now, what do they think is happening? That they're actually getting in the good graces of this person, or do they think, hey, this person's gonna like me and give me their number because I came over and saved them? People don't need to be fucking saved until they need to be saved.
I don't really understand the thought process behind it. Like, do you think that women are, like, inept and that they don't know what they're doing?
I mean, and this is a predominantly male issue.
It is.
It is. And it's the person, and that falls into, like, the creeper dude, too, because it just does. I mean, the guy that's, like, staring and trying to fucking bounce 7 mirrors of images off of his eye so he could see somebody bending over doing RDLs, and, like, those people too, you know? And, like, but the guy that comes over, rushing over and, like, helps you lift your bench press up. Now, if you're a power lifter, that could be a big fucking problem. If somebody pulls my bench press off of me and I'm still benching,
I'm gonna lose my mind.
I'm gonna also have my own spotter there, though.
Yeah,
like, of course. You should have a spotter. That's a whole separate issue right there. You should have a fucking spotter if you're lifting anything heavy. But the guy that comes over and, like, decides to pull the weight off you or help you, it's not helpful. He's just a sergeant fucking shithead trying to give you advice. It's acting like a douchebag. Because, I mean, we were going to call this gym douchebags.
We were.
And
but we decided that would be not appropriate.
So we'll just say it in the podcast.
So we'll just say it in the podcast instead.
Yeah. But I think it's a douchey move.
It is.
I really think it is. I mean, don't be that guy. Come on.
No. Like, if somebody wants your opinion or they want your help or feedback, they will ask you for it.
Yeah.
And even coming from the standpoint of, like, you know, owning a gym, when we owned a gym, and the only time I would ever insert myself would be if I thought somebody might get hurt.
Yeah, of course.
Or, like, you know, like, we had one guy one time using an ER rack, which, granted, an ER rack, I've never seen one in a commercial gym in my life. So most people don't know how to use an ER rack. And this guy took it all the way down. So the ER racks, y'all probably know if you're powerlifters, are combo racks, so you can squat or bench out of them. And they have different heights and different little J-cups for either lift. So this guy took the height all the way down and was trying to bench out of the squat hooks. Yep. So if it's something like that,
let the guy know.
Like, help him out, you know? Help him out.
Like, let the poor kid know. Like, it's just a learning experience.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a right way to approach that, too. You know, you can be nice. You don't have to act like a gym douchebag. You can just be like, hey, man, you know, little piece of advice. This is a piece of equipment I use a lot. I'm just noticing, hey, you know, it might be better if you bench off the bench hooks.
Yeah. There's totally a nice way to approach somebody, especially, like, if you think they're gonna hurt themselves.
If you're a gym owner or an employee, you have
that's different.
You have a right.
Yeah.
Not only do you have a right, you have the duty to make sure people are doing stuff safe on the floor.
True.
So I mean, you're going to interject regardless.
But, like, if somebody's doing a lat pull down in a way that's not what you would do,
fuck it.
Then just let them do them. They're gonna be fine.
They'll be fine.
Yeah.
So I agree with that one. I agree with that. So the mansplaining, talked about that.
Mansplaining me harder, daddy.
No, that's weird.
Oh, it's a thing.
It's
a whole hashtag
could do like a
and
whole
everything.
YouTube video on that. Mansplain me harder, daddy is a hashtag?
Yes.
That's a big, long hashtag. I'm going to ask Coach about that. That sounds like something she would know.
I'm sure she knows about that.
Anyways, so what else is there? We covered a lot of them. We went in depth on some good stuff. What do you guys think? Why don't you guys let us know in the comments what, beyond the gym douchebag, but like actual gym etiquette, what's appropriate, and like assign it like a level. Like, is this really annoying, somewhat annoying, not really annoying, or like the worst fucking thing you could do in a public setting, bordering on criminal activity type of thing. So let us know. Send us comments, and if you're on the YouTubes, just put the comments down there. Let us know what you think, or if you want to just shoot us an email or hit us up off the websites or the Instagrams or the Facebooks or any of that stuff.
I have a good one.
Oh, you thought of one?
I thought of one, and because
the texter.
It made me think of it. That's another one. So
you could keep going.
The one that popped into my head is misusing a piece of equipment. So like when you were talking about the guy resting his barbell on the bench press, like people who do curls in a squat rack.
That is a fucking thing, and I hate that.
Or they I mean, it's just like, why? Like, why do you need to have this entire cage to do a curl with 135 pounds? Like,
all right, who's curling 135 pounds in that squat rack?
I've seen people do that.
Yeah, and I'm saying it's a thing, but like if you're going to be curling, most people aren't curling that heavy.
No.
So like, why even bother?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Why even bother?
We actually had a rule against that at my university gym. No fucking curling in the squat rack.
It's annoying as fuck.
It is annoying.
That is annoying. I used to chuck people's gym bags out of the way when I saw that and just take over the squat rack, because that's just like, there's a whole area to do that over there with the free weights. You don't need to be
totally.
you don't need to be in this rack.
And who likes to curl a straight bar anyway? Like,
that's annoying. It feels like shit.
Use an easy curl bar or something.
Yeah, use an easy curl bar.
Yeah.
And then the texter.
The texter.
You all know that person. It's probably you.
The person who takes way too long between sets because they're...
Powerlifters?
No.
Oh.
Listen, I hate that because I'm a power lifter and I take appropriate rest between my sets, and when it's fucking accessory time, I'm not ever resting for more than 90 seconds.
But it is something that is said about power lifters.
It is, because
accurate.
We take a long time during our working sets of our main movements.
Especially when you get closer to competition and you're lifting a shit ton of weight, you rest as long as you feel until you're ready to get back into that bar. Because otherwise, you're talking about safety issues again.
Yeah, but that's not most people.
30 minutes.
That's not most people.
Hopefully you have multiple pieces of the same equipment.
Most people are like sitting on a leg extension machine, resting for 4 minutes between sets of 10.
Texting the guy that's like over there on the other side of the gym.
Like, number one, you're wasting your own time. Number two, you're wasting everybody else's time. Number three, you're taking way too long between sets to even catch a good pump or anything like that. And then you're also not focused on your workout if you're scrolling on Instagram or fucking texting somebody. There's just a whole bunch of stuff wrong with that.
You're obviously not focused on your workout. You're obviously, I don't know what it is, just cool. There was a story, and this is something that one of our friends actually saw happen that worked at Planet Fitness. This is kind of like an offshoot to that. But people that would come in, get on the treadmill, take a selfie, and then leave. And I'm like,
my God.
What kind of horse shit is that?
Yep.
That's some backward shit. And so now that's up on Instagram. People think this person, just ran or something?
How much effort is that? You are literally going to put on workout clothes. You're going to go to the gym. You're actually going to go to the gym.
Yeah, you're there.
To fake people out on social media that you walked on a treadmill.
I don't get it. I don't get that at all. You might as well put the time in while you're there. You're there already.
Just walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes or 15 minutes. Like, come on.
Oh, man. I'll tell you. All right. Well, I think that covers a lot of the gym etiquette. What do you think?
That does cover a lot of the gym etiquette. I'm sure we missed some, but
I'm sure, which is what
you guys will tell us. What
else we got going on? There's a lot of exciting things happening.
There are a lot of exciting things happening. So right now, Viking Strength Nutrition. Today, we kicked off our big holiday sale.
Well, today is Monday.
So
this is hitting Wednesday.
Yeah, this is dropping for y'all on Wednesday.
Tuesday night, Wednesday morning.
Monday, we started our 15% off your entire purchase holiday sale. There is no minimum purchase amount required to get that discount. The code is Viking Xmas at checkout to save.
And that is in addition to, that's on your whole order.
Yes.
So let's say you're an ambassador or you have an ambassador's code or something like that. It'll add the 15% on top of that. So you can get a really good deal. You can get a really, really good deal. So definitely head over to VikingStrengthNutrition.com or VikingStrengthSups.com and make sure you stock up on protein, creatine, and what else is coming down the pipe?
So we are adding about 10 new products to our line within the next 2 weeks.
This is exciting.
Super exciting. We've been
working really hard on this.
Working on this for a long time and trying to figure out a way to bring this stuff to you guys in a way that would be as high quality as we could possibly find. So
and I think we've done it.
We figured out a way to make that happen. So our goal is to launch these products on December 20th. Correct?
We're going to try.
We're going to
try to launch December 20th. If not, it'll have to be like a New Year thing because nothing will happen the last week of December. But we're going to try. We're going to try for December 20th. It's a lot of work to go into actually doing this because we do require certain things like it has to be made in the USA, it has to have certifications. Like, you know, we make our own protein, so it needs to be to that standard. And it has to be stuff that we would use. And we want to launch it in conjunction with an education portion to our website.
Absolutely. That's one of the biggest things with this is we find, especially being coaches and trainers, that a lot of our clients ask us about certain supplements and what's worth taking, what should they or shouldn't they be taking, which we obviously never require or tell anybody that they have to take something. But if somebody wants a genuine opinion or scientific research on something like creatine, it's good to be able to offer that accurate information to people. So that is part of what we're launching when we bring these new products is like almost like a blog style of consolidated
videos,
scientific research and videos.
There'll be like links to like you said, like research. There'll be links to actual research. There'll be links to our blog, which is going to tackle a lot of these issues. There's going to be videos of us talking about it and videos of like me putting a bunch of fucking supplement companies on complete blast because a lot of places are just full of shit and you can't believe the marketing because there's not a lot of regulation in this industry.
It's so true.
And we'll get into that
in another episode.
Definitely go to our site and sign up for the newsletter when you get to the page because that's going to have a lot of information, and when that education part goes live, you're going to hear a lot of that. You're going to hear us debunk a lot of that bullshit. So we are, between this, the educational videos, the YouTube channel, we're making a lot of videos for you guys. So we're turning into like almost a studio here where we have to make videos like all the time now.
People.
And that's cool. We're video people now.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I like it. I want to bring as much education to the people as we can. And I think starting a supplement company was a little difficult for me because I worked in the supplement industry and I know how much crap there is out there and stuff that just doesn't work that people spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on at a whack. And it's just like, I can't believe, like, we're gonna break down the chemistry behind all of it. We're gonna break down the chemistry behind certain products.
We're also gonna tell you if the supplement you're looking at is ideal for you.
Right. And we are gonna make that part available.
So if you don't fit characteristics X, Y, and Z, you probably shouldn't buy it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of getting blood work done to see, like, when you talk about vitamins, for example, see what you actually need rather than spend the money to take vitamins because half the vitamins that are in there aren't even going to work in your body anyways because you're going to chemically break them down into a chemical chain that's no longer that vitamin. And the ones that do work, you may not even need. Like, you see a lot of people being like, oh, I have a vitamin B deficiency. Well, there's 12 different vitamin Bs. Which one are you deficient on? Do you know? Did you get blood work done for this? And usually the answer is no. They just feel like it because that's like a trend. And so they're going to take vitamin B. And their pee comes out the color of fucking Las Vegas Boulevard. And they're wondering why, you know, oh, I must be getting enough vitamin B now. You're actually getting too much at that point. You're lucky that that's water soluble. Getting off on a tangent here. This is the stuff you're going to see.
What are we coming out with?
We are coming out with...
Rattle off some of those
Let's talk about what we have already. So we have the egg white protein powder in chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, and unflavored. Two of those, the cookies and cream and the unflavored, are coming out soon. They're already formulated and done. Those will be hitting the website pretty soon. The chocolate and vanilla is already out there, obviously. That's been our frontline product. It's very easy for you to digest it. It's a lot of protein, packs a lot of protein for a punch. It's much better bioavailability than a lot of other stuff on there. And if you have a problem with whey, this is a great alternative.
Absolutely.
We also have creatine available right now on our website, and we will continue to offer creatine, 500 grams, which is about 100 doses of 5 grams each.
Yep.
And comes a scooper right in the top. Guaranteed, the scooper will be on top.
That's not guaranteed.
It is guaranteed.
Is it?
It is absolutely guaranteed. I promise you, it'll be on top every single time. I made sure that. I swear to God, it sounds weird, but that was a thing.
That's a big thing. Have y'all ever opened a brand new bottle of a supplement and you're like, where's the scooper? And then you have to stick your whole hand in there and just dig around for the scooper.
Yeah, and then you walk around like you just fucking cut up 5 kilos of cocaine and you look like freaking Al Pacino.
We don't want that for you.
No, I mean, anyways, so we have the creatine, we have that, we have the protein, and we're coming out with fish oil, which we think is great. We'll just tell you what we're coming out with. We're not going to go into detail about everything right now, but we'll have fish oil, caffeine, 2 different forms of whey protein, because that does work, and there are people out there that like whey protein, so we're going to offer it. So it's a whey protein and whey isolate combination. So it's a great. Again, as far as whey protein goes, it is very bioavailable. I've done whey protein a lot in the past. I personally don't have an issue with my stomach and whey protein, but a lot of people do. I do think the egg white protein, you definitely get more bang for your buck out of it. I think you get you get over 90% pure, protein in the egg white as opposed to the whey. But that's, it's what you're going to use. And then we also have, did I say caffeine? Yep. Caffeine, fish oil, creatine, the 2 types of protein.
Greens. We're
going to be coming out with probably 2, 3, or 4 different types in flavors of greens. So we'll have, actually, 3 of my greens, one of them is superfood. And the superfood one is your like greens, fruits, and like everything that you need. But yes, those will be hitting the market. Awesome flavors. They taste great. Those will be on our website as well. And we're going to have, we don't really dive into the whole like nootropics thing because I think a lot of that is bunk. There are a couple of things though that are like single ingredient items that you'll see up there as well, and we'll educate that as well on our website. But a lot of the nootropics you buy really don't do what you think they're going to do, and we'll get into that at another point. But yeah, so that's the base of the line. We got more. There's more than that. I just can't think of all of it right now, but because there's a lot going on.
Well, those are the next ones that are coming out.
And it
won't be the end of our product line.
No. We'll keep growing it as we grow, obviously.
As we get more feedback from you guys and what you need and what you want.
And what actually works. We are not going to put something on our site that does not work. If that is, you'll be safe going to our website knowing that it is something that your body can actually use. As opposed to walking to GNC and having Captain Dick Pants try to sell you something so he gets a commission. All right? Because that's one of the things that really pisses me off, is going to someplace like GNC and they offer more of a markup on their product than they do for competitors' products. So they're told to push GNC brand more than anything else. And that rubs me the wrong way. That always rubs me the wrong way. Because you're not actually getting what you need at that point. You're getting what they want to sell you. We're not going to do that.
No.
We're going to educate you and let you pick or not pick the things that you need. And I'll be damned if that doesn't work. God forbid we shoot a little honesty into society nowadays.
Yeah.
What else we got going on? The YouTube?
Well, we've got the YouTube. Everybody knows about the YouTube because this video will also be on YouTube as well as every major streaming platform.
Mm-hmm. The Viking Inside.
The Viking Inside.
That is our YouTube channel. It's growing quick.
We do have some lifters competing at a meet coming up in February. That'll be the USPA Tough Expo, put on by USPA South Carolina.
That's
and
Trisha and Gary Emmerich.
Yep,
They're great
Trisha
meet directors, awesome people.
So that is, we have, I think, only one of the lifters going, Christian, has competed before. Everybody else it's their first time.
Some have been involved in meets, like Bob has been involved in
spotting,
meets.
Loading,
and Brendan's been involved in meets.
Yep.
But yeah, this is the first time for a lot of them. This is like Christian's 4th.
Yeah, we're super excited for everybody. I've never been to the Tough Expo.
Neither have I, but it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be exciting, fun. I love a good expo. It's always good energy, and you get to see a lot of different kinds of sports, and it's usually just like a really fun
freebies from vendors
experience for the team.
I love that sort of shit.
We're super excited about that. Swag. And then we're competing again.
We are in April. The first week of April, we'll be competing. This is my triumphant return to full power. This year to qualify for some large events on the back half of the year, and then hopefully qualify or get good enough dot scores or wilt scores or whatever the fuck they're using next year, so we can participate in some of the larger events like the hybrid showdown, the bucked up showdown, stuff like that.
We can do the hybrid.
Yeah, we can. We can. Oh no, we can do it. But
the one that we're trying to get in is the Kern.
That's gonna be a minute. That's gonna be a minute. Yeah. So. That's going to be a while. That might be... I'm looking at like 2 years out, maybe, from that.
Yeah, for the Kern. To actually be competitive. I think, what is it, top 20?
Top 20 in the world of your gender, of any weight class.
Any division.
Any league. Like, it doesn't matter. It's top 20 in the world. That is a small group of people.
That's stiff right there.
That is a very small group of people.
Stiff right there. I think I've got some ranks that I want to climb before I'm
There's definitely, there's a couple of stepping stones. I mean, they're trying to make themselves the elite lifting meet of the year, and that'll do it. I mean, it is. That'll do it.
It is. It's incredible.
That'll definitely do it. Nothing. I mean, the hybrid showdown's awesome too. Yeah. I mean, they're doing the whole pro-am now, so it's like you got the amateur day before, and then the pro the day. I don't want to do the amateur, but. Yeah. It's cool that they're letting other lifters get in there and do it.
That's definitely on my list for 2023 is the hybrid showdown.
2023, yep. That'll be probably, if they do it again, hopefully they will. This will be their fourth one.
Yeah.
They're definitely doing one in 2022. It's being put on, actually, as sanctioned by USPA this time, which I think last year was WRPF.
Yeah, it's usually WRPF.
This year it's USPA, so I'm kind of interested in seeing why they went that way. Just curious.
I mean, maybe it had something to do with the monolift. Because WRPF is a monolith.
That's true. Maybe it was. There's definitely some cash behind this. It's like $20,000 in prizes. So you're starting to see that come along. If you saw the USAPL Pro Meet, that was put on with very high production value. You're starting to see a lot more of that.
That was so cool.
And cash prizes. So you're starting to see some money in the sport, and I like that because it wasn't like that a few years ago. And now it's being taken a lot more seriously. So I'm excited to see what's coming. And I think that's about it for what we have coming up as far. I mean, there's a lot going on. I'm sure we're missing a few things.
Whatever.
But whatever.
We'll tell you next time.
We'll get you filled in. We're doing something every day, something new every day, pretty much. But yeah, so again, thank you for joining us on this week's podcast. This week we dove into some fun and had a good time talking about gym etiquette. That was good. We're gonna come up with something equally fun for next week. We got a few ideas for you guys coming up, and the new YouTube video for the Viking Inside will be out within the next 72 hours. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Viking Inside, because not only is the podcast going to be up on there, but a whole separate YouTube station called the Viking Inside will be there with it, where we tackle top 5, top 10 education tutorials, and we have a little bit of fun in the meantime. So thank you guys for listening, and we will see you at the gym.
Bye.